I'm not trying to FUD, but I just want to say this. You need to act now. We may be entering the start of an NFT bear market. Now, what I'm saying here is that over the past few days, Ethereum has bumped up. And historically, when Ethereum goes up, the volume goes down. And when the volume goes down, the prices go down. I've seen this before, and a lot of other people have seen this before. Now I want to butt in really quick and say that I know that on my channel, there's going to be the video beforehand, the video after are going to be about projects that are coming out that I'm really bullish on, excited on, but this is just my current state of mind when it comes down to the market. This can change in a heartbeat. This really has only changed over the past few days that I've seen this happen, and it may actually turn into a bear market. I'm just trying to give you my thought process when it comes down to the NFT market to then give you another insight, because you may be feeling this way, but no one's saying it, which then makes you think that you're wrong. But if this is kind of backing up your thoughts, then that's all that I want. I want to give you an aspect and a perspective that I have when it comes down to the market and what I'm actually going to be doing. Anyway, let's get back into it. Those of us that have seen this, we know that this was going to come at some point, and the fact that this is starting to show its signs, this is when I'm starting to kind of exit my positions that I'm in and kind of transfer over to sort of Ethereum to kind of hedge my bet there. I will take some losses on some projects to ensure that I don't bleed out. Now, I'm not saying that the bear market is in full swing, but it's just these starting indications that are starting to pop up. Now, where this feeling is coming from is I'm looking at projects that I'm on the whitelist for, but then also projects that I'm not on the whitelist for and I'm just across. What I'm noticing is that there are some projects that are bleeding heavily. Even if they're in this whitelist or pre-sale phase, they're just not making the moves that they usually would. They're kind of in a slight downtrend, which doesn't make sense for a project that's in a whitelist that has some hype that should be building up. Also, for other projects that have been released, I'm seeing some bleeding of values there. There are the occasional ones that are kind of popping up and holding up, that's fine. But across the board, I'm starting to see projects kind of lose and bleed value just a little bit. And then when it comes down to some of these bigger projects that people thought were gonna run up and go to the moon, those are being cut in half, cut in a quarter. And what is happening is we're seeing the bleeding of values across the board with the coinciding with the rise of Ethereum going up. And last time this happened, prices went down. What I want to prepare you for isn't sort of fear. I don't want to be fudding. I don't want to seem like I'm kind of trashing on the NFT market. But what I want you to be aware of is the fact that this will come a point where crypto and Ethereum will pump, and there will be a select projects. It's not saying that the whole market will go down, but it's saying that you can't just buy into a project. Currently, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, you could buy into any project and it would sell out. It was weird for a project to not sell out. Every project was selling out, but we will come a time where every project doesn't sell out. It's almost weird. If you're on the whitelist, you're almost left holding the bag because these projects don't sell out. But the good thing about this is the fact that it will then shake out all of these kind of rug pulls, scams, derivatives. What's going to happen is it's going to mean that there's a focus on good quality projects, doxed teams that can actually, that have executed in the past and that will execute in the future. This means that the projects that do come out of what will eventually be the bear market will be blue chip projects, because last time we saw this, there were a few projects that actually came out the other side, but when they come out the other side, they come out stronger than ever. Now, what this means is it means that you can then kind of stash some ETH on the side. So when ETH runs up and blue chips go down, even if it's 25%, if you can get in at a discount, you're then going to be getting into something stronger that has an established brand that will be able to kind of run in the long term. Now, I'm not saying that you should exit all of your positions. You should do your own research. You should kind of not take this as financial advice, but this is just the vibe that I'm getting from the sort of community at the moment. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be layering out of these positions, stacking some ETH on the side, so that when we do hit full crazy bear market and nothing's running, I can look and research for those projects that I actually want to get into, that have launched, that have an established track record, buy into those. But then also for those newer projects that are coming up, really focus, not focusing on ones that'll just be, oh, a quick flip because everything will sell, but really taking the time and energy to ensure that the projects that I'm getting into are going to make good sort of returns when they do mint out. Because what will happen is there won't be as a dispersed attention on every single project. People will only move towards these kind of quality projects, which means that there will be like gains to be made because all the attention will be put onto the ones that will make sort of gains and returns because they've got a solid team and a solid track record. Currently right now, there's money everywhere flowing into absolutely everything because everything sells out, everything makes money. But we're going to turn into this mode where only the select few actually survive, which means that all the attention is going to move towards them, meaning that if you are getting into those projects early and you are kind of seeking out those projects, you're then going to be in a better position when the rest of the market realizes that they need to get into those solid projects. Now, where does this vibe and thought come from? Yes, I've seen that bleeding, but I have also spoken to a few other people that have been in the space before, that have seen these patterns, that have seen what happens when ETH runs up and we kind of go into a bear market. Now, all of these people are kind of saying the same thing. It feels different. The vibe is starting to change. And what will happen is there is going to be a singular catalyst that'll happen and it'll just be absolutely bear market. Now, look, what this means for me is it means that I'm going to be paying more attention to the projects that have a stronger team or a strong kind of utility or someone that has actually executed something and has a track record before. I'm also going to be looking for projects that have the attention that look like they actually will run it longer term. I'm not going to be doing any degen plays. I'm going to be being very conservative with my plays to ensure that I can then survive what will be the bear market that will come along. So yes, a different kind of video today. It's not fun, it's not happy, it's not filled with hoping, but the idea here is I wanted to kind of express my thoughts and my views on where we are currently, and we're at this sort of precipice of what could be a bear market, but as easily could be a continuation of the bull. I just want to be putting you into a place of where my mind is at to ensure that you're better positioned so you can then make better moves no matter what happens with the market. If you found value in this video, please consider hitting up that subscribe button. While you're down there, also hit up the like button. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.